When we think about respiratory illnesses, COVID-19, the flu, and even the common cold may come to mind. However, another viral threat is quietly circulating: human metapneumovirus, or HMPV. This virus might not be a household name, but its impact is being felt, particularly in the wake of the COVID-19 pandemic. The COVID-19 pandemic changed the landscape of healthcare, and one of the consequences has been a renewed focus on respiratory illnesses. As we continue to grapple with the long-term effects of COVID-19, the rise of other respiratory viruses like HMPV is causing understandable concern. Understanding HMPV is crucial, especially for vulnerable populations who may experience more severe symptoms. By learning about this often overlooked virus, we can take proactive steps to protect ourselves and those around us. Knowledge is our best defense as we navigate the complexities of respiratory illnesses in a post-pandemic world. Human metapneumovirus, commonly known as HMPV, is a relatively recent discovery in the world of virology. It was first identified in 2001 by Dutch researchers, but scientists believe HMPV has been circulating among humans for decades, possibly even centuries. HMPV belongs to the family, a group known for causing a range of respiratory illnesses. Other members of this viral family include well-known names like measles, mumps, and respiratory syncytial virus, or RSV. HMPV primarily targets the respiratory system, causing inflammation and irritation that lead to a cascade of uncomfortable and potentially dangerous symptoms. While HMPV can infect individuals of all ages, it poses the most significant threat to young children, older adults, and individuals with weakened immune systems. These vulnerable populations are more susceptible to severe complications from HMPV infection, including pneumonia, bronchiolitis, and respiratory failure. Understanding the characteristics of HMPV, its viral family, and its preferred targets is essential for developing effective prevention strategies and treatment protocols. The recent surge in HMPV cases underscores the need for increased awareness and vigilance. Human metapneumovirus, or HMPV, is notorious for its chameleon-like ability to mimic the symptoms of other common respiratory illnesses. In many cases, especially in healthy adults, HMPV infection manifests as a mild cold, hardly distinguishable from its more common counterparts. The most frequently reported symptoms of HMPV include a persistent and dry cough, nasal congestion, a low-grade fever, and a sore throat. While these symptoms are common to many respiratory illnesses, HMPV infection can escalate, leading to more severe complications, especially in vulnerable populations. Infants, young children, older adults, and individuals with compromised immune systems are at increased risk of developing serious complications from HMPV, such as bronchitis, pneumonia, and wheezing. It's important to note that HMPV infection can exacerbate pre-existing respiratory conditions like asthma and chronic obstructive pulmonary disease, or COPD. Recognizing the signs of HMPV infection and seeking prompt medical attention are crucial for preventing serious health outcomes. Early intervention is key to managing HMPV infection and preventing potential complications. Human metapneumovirus, or HMPV, spreads through familiar routes much like other respiratory viruses. HMPV transmission includes respiratory droplets expelled. When an infected person coughs or sneezes, droplets can travel up to 6 feet and infect individuals who inhale them or touch contaminated surfaces. Direct contact, like shaking hands, can also transmit the virus. Indirect contact, such as touching contaminated surfaces and then your face, can lead to infection. The COVID-19 pandemic has heightened our awareness of respiratory hygiene. Lessons like hand washing, mask wearing, and social distancing remain effective in curbing HMPV. Maintaining good hygiene practices can reduce the risk of HMPV transmission. Human metapneumovirus, or HMPV, much like its viral cousins influenza and RSV, exhibits a seasonal pattern, with cases typically peaking during the late winter and spring months. However, the COVID-19 pandemic appears to have disrupted the predictable rhythm of respiratory viruses, leading to unusual surges and unpredictable patterns of circulation. Factors such as changes in human behavior, reduced exposure to common viruses during lockdowns, and the lingering effects of COVID-19 on the immune system may have contributed to shifts in HMPV seasonality. The disruption of normal viral circulation patterns during the pandemic has made it more challenging to predict the timing and severity of HMPV outbreaks. This unpredictability underscores the importance of remaining vigilant year-round and adopting preventive measures as part of our routine health practices. Ongoing surveillance, research and communication are crucial for monitoring HMPV activity and implementing timely interventions. Diagnosing human metapneumovirus, or HMPV, presents a unique set of challenges, primarily due to its non-specific symptoms and the lack of readily available diagnostic tests. Unlike COVID-19 or influenza, for which rapid antigen tests are widely accessible, no such rapid test exists for HMPV. The gold standard for HMPV diagnosis involves laboratory testing of respiratory samples, typically collected through a nasal swab or throat swab. These samples are then analyzed using molecular techniques such as polymerase chain reaction or PCR to detect the presence of viral genetic material. While accurate, these tests require specialized laboratory equipment and trained personnel, which may not be readily available in all healthcare settings. Adding to the complexity, there is no specific antiviral treatment for HMPV infection. Management primarily focuses on alleviating symptoms and supporting the body's natural immune response. The lack of specific diagnostic tests and antiviral treatments for HMPV underscores the importance of prevention and supportive care. While human metapneumovirus, or HMPV, might not be as well known as other respiratory viruses, the preventive measures from our post-pandemic lives remain effective in curbing its spread. Key measures include hand hygiene, respiratory etiquette, and avoiding close contact. Wash hands with soap for at least 20 seconds. Use hand sanitizer with at least 60% alcohol if soap is unavailable. Cover your mouth and nose when coughing or sneezing. Maintain distance from sick individuals and disinfect surfaces regularly. Stay home if you're feeling unwell. By embracing these measures, we can protect ourselves and our communities. Human metapneumovirus, or HMPV, might not dominate headlines like the COVID-19 pandemic, but its impact on public health is significant and growing. While often causing mild cold-like symptoms, HMPV can lead to severe respiratory complications, especially in vulnerable populations, placing a considerable burden on healthcare systems. Young children, older adults, and individuals with weakened immune systems are particularly susceptible to severe HMPV infection, often requiring hospitalization for complications such as bronchiolitis, pneumonia, and respiratory failure. The lack of specific antiviral treatments and the challenges in diagnosing HMPV further exacerbate its impact on public health. The post-COVID landscape has created a perfect storm for respiratory viruses like HMPV. Reduced exposure to common viruses during lockdowns may have led to a decline in population immunity, making individuals more susceptible to infection. Furthermore, healthcare systems still reeling from the pandemic face the daunting task of managing a potential surge in respiratory illnesses, including HMPV. The convergence of HMPV with other seasonal respiratory viruses raises concerns about a potential triple-demic threatening to overwhelm healthcare systems. The COVID-19 pandemic has fundamentally altered our relationship with infectious diseases, highlighting the interconnectedness of global health and the importance of proactive healthcare. As we navigate a world still grappling with the pandemic's long-term effects, staying informed about emerging respiratory threats, including human metapneumovirus or HMPV, is paramount. Knowledge is our most powerful tool in the fight against infectious diseases. By staying informed about HMPV, its symptoms, modes of transmission, and preventive measures, we can make empowered decisions to protect ourselves and our communities. Reliable sources of information such as the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, the World Health Organization, and reputable medical institutions provide evidence-based guidance and updates on respiratory virus activity. The post-COVID landscape demands a proactive approach to respiratory health. Practicing good hygiene, staying up to date on vaccinations, and seeking prompt medical attention when necessary are essential steps in mitigating the impact of respiratory illnesses, including HMPV. By staying informed, adopting preventive measures, and supporting public health initiatives, we can navigate the challenges of a post-COVID world and create a healthier future for all.